The year 1939 witnessed the beginning of a global conflict that would forever alter the course of human history, World War II. This devastating war, lasting until 1945, engulfed nations across the globe in a maelstrom of unprecedented violence and destruction, from the beaches of Normandy to the deserts of North Africa, from the frozen Eastern Front to the islands of the Pacific. Millions fought and perished, reshaping the geopolitical landscape and leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape the world we live in today. This essay aims to provide a concise overview of this complex conflict, examining its root causes, key events, and enduring consequences. The sheer scale of World War II is difficult to comprehend. Over 30 countries were directly involved, with millions of soldiers and civilians drawn into the vortex of conflict. New technologies of warfare, including tanks, aircraft, and ultimately atomic weapons, brought about destruction on an unimaginable scale. The war resulted in an estimated 40 to 85 million fatalities, forever etching its mark on the collective memory of mankind. Understanding this conflict, its origins and its repercussions is essential to comprehending the complexities of the 20th century and the world we inhabit today. The seeds of World War II were sown long before the first shots were fired. The Treaty of Versailles, signed in 1919 after the end of World War I, aimed to ensure peace but ultimately sowed the seeds of future conflict. The treaty, widely perceived as unjust, particularly by Germany, imposed harsh reparations and territorial losses on the defeated nation. This fueled resentment and instability in Germany, creating fertile ground for extremist ideologies to take root. The 1930s witnessed the Great Depression, a global economic crisis that further exacerbated tensions. The economic turmoil led to widespread unemployment, poverty, and social unrest, providing a breeding ground for extremist movements and nationalist ideologies. In Germany, the Nazi Party, led by the charismatic but deeply demagogic Adolf Hitler, exploited the economic hardship and social unrest to gain popular support. Hitler's rhetoric, laced with nationalist fervor and promises of restoring German glory, resonated with a population desperate for change and a return to greatness. The 1930s saw the rise of totalitarian regimes in Germany, Italy, and Japan, each driven by expansionist ambitions and a disdain for the existing world order. In Germany, Hitler's Nazi Party, with its ideology of racial superiority and aggressive expansionism, consolidated power, systematically dismantling democratic institutions and persecuting minorities. Italy, under the fascist dictator Benito Mussolini, embarked on a campaign of military expansion, invading Ethiopia in 1935. In the Far East, Imperial Japan, driven by militaristic nationalism and a desire for regional dominance, launched a full-scale invasion of Manchuria in 1931, marking the beginning of its expansionist campaign in Asia. These aggressive actions, met with weak responses from the international community, emboldened the Axis powers and set the stage for a wider conflict. Section 4. A World Ablaze. Battles and Turning Points. On September 1, 1939, Germany's invasion of Poland marked the beginning of World War II. Implementing a lightning-fast military tactic known as blitzkrieg, Germany swiftly overran Poland, leading Britain and France to declare war on Germany. The early years of the war saw a string of German victories, with Denmark, Norway, the Netherlands, Belgium and France falling in rapid succession under the might of the German war machine. On December 7, 1941, Japan, seeking to cripple the United States Pacific Fleet and secure its dominance in Southeast Asia, launched a surprise attack on Pearl Harbor, Hawaii. The attack, which killed over 2,400 Americans and damaged or destroyed numerous battleships and aircraft, shocked the American public and propelled the United States into the war. The war raged on multiple fronts, with key battles fought in North Africa, the Eastern Front and the Pacific. Section 5. A New World Forged Legacy of the War. The war in Europe reached a turning point in 1944 with the Allied invasion of Normandy, France on June 6, D-Day. This massive amphibious assault, involving troops from the United States, Britain, Canada, and other Allied nations, marked the beginning of the liberation of Western Europe from Nazi control. In the East, the Soviet Union, after enduring horrific losses in battles like Stalingrad, launched a massive counteroffensive, pushing the Germans back towards Berlin. In August 1945, the United States dropped atomic bombs on the Japanese cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, ushering in a new era of warfare and leading to Japan's unconditional surrender on August 15, 1945. World War II had finally come to an end. The war's end marked the beginning of a new global order, with the United States and the Soviet Union emerging as the world's two superpowers. The conflict also led to the formation of the United Nations, an international organization dedicated to preventing future wars and promoting global cooperation.